While the Communal Violence Bill figures on the government's list of priorities this winter session of Parliament, it's a sharply divided debate and Congress strategists could be looking at a challenge to table the bill in the course of these 12 days. In a letter to the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi questioned the timing of this bill, calling the National Advisory Council draft an ill-conceived, poorly drafted and a recipe for disaster. The Congress has dismissed Narendra Modi's concerns on the contentious bill, saying his letter to the Prime Minister was only to create a controversy.
देखिए, इस पे बहुत दिन से काम चल रहा है, कोई आज का काम नहीं चल रहा है। स्टैंडिंग कमेटी ने भी इस चीज़ को देख लिया है कि इसमें जिसकी भी जो शिकायतें हैं सबको एड्रेस किया जा सके। अब जब कैबिनेट इसको अप्रूव करेगी उसके बाद हम इसको देखते हैं। उनका तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी का तो काम है कि हर चीज़ को विवाद के घेरे में लाओ, कैसे वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स की जाए, कैसे हर चीज़ को ट्विस्ट करके और उसका राजनीतिक फ़ायदा लिया जाए। कभी भी इस उद्देश्य से कोई काम नहीं करते हैं कि भाई इसमें सबका भला हो। हमेशा हर चीज़ की कंट्रोवर्सी खड़ी करना और हर चीज़ की आलोचना करना।
जिस तरह से ये बिल लाने की कोशिश हो रही है, मुझे लगता है ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग में भी उसमें चर्चा हो गई, लेकिन इस सत्र में वो बिल नहीं आएगा। नरेंद्र भाई ने जो मुद्दे इस बिल के बारे में रखे हैं सामने, शिवसेना का मोदी साहब को पूरा समर्थन है, पूरा समर्थन है। यही मुद्दे हमने भी रखे थे। टाइमिंग गलत है, छोड़ दीजिए, लेकिन ये पूरा वोट बैंक की राजनीति के लिए, किसी को खुश करने के लिए, आने वाले 2014 के लोकसभा चुनाव को सामने रख के इस बिल को लाने की कोशिश हो जाएगी। लेकिन हम ये बिल आने नहीं देंगे, किसी भी हालत में हम ये बिल नहीं आने देंगे।
Well, my colleague Maha Siddiqui is now joining us from outside Parliament House. Maha, similar points in fact were raised by Jayalalitha as well, but the fact that Narendra Modi, who is BJP's prime ministerial candidate, has now raised these issues just ahead of the winter session of Parliament, it's sure to turn into a big controversy.
Absolutely, Ruchika. The parliamentarians are already talking about it over here, and they are sharply divided over the issue, with many of them, especially from the BJP as well as some people from the left also saying that it infringes upon the powers of the state, and therefore it will go about actually putting a pressure on the federal structure of the country, wherein the states have certain powers and they can act upon it. So they say that this clearly is something that is being done in view of the 2014 elections, and that they will pressure the government to let the standing committee take a closer look at it. The BJP, of course, has said it will oppose it tooth and nail. But then there, of course, is the Congress party that is saying that it wants a broad consensus on the issue, but it wants Parliament to function. However, let me point out one thing, what D. Raja from the left has pointed out, that so far the list that has been circulated to them does not include the Communal Violence Bill. But then again, he pointed out that perhaps the government does want to push it in the winter session of Parliament. Remember, Ruchika, this is the last session before we go in for elections, that is the general elections. And therefore, the Congress, the UPA, will be looking at pushing most of the crucial bills, including the Communal Violence Bill.
Yes, and considering it is so contentious, it could hold up a lot of other legislative business, considering there are 38 bills pending and some 12 working days in this session. Remains to be seen what really is the Congress, what really is the government's strategy. But before I come to you on that, let's quickly listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say this morning, just ahead the winter session of Parliament convene.
This session of Parliament is of very short duration, and therefore it is obligatory on all political parties represented in our Parliament to make their best possible efforts to get essential business of the two houses transacted as speedily, as smoothly as is humanly possible. We will arrive at a consensus with regard to the legislation that should be brought to Parliament for discussion and for decision making, and we seek the cooperation of all segments of the House to ensure the smooth passage of the essential legislative business of the House.
All right, so the Prime Minister there saying there will be an effort to do maximum pending work as this session is a short one. The government will try and garner consensus on all possible issues. But Maha, as we were talking about, very short period of work really, and we have seen in the past also how sessions have gone complete. Sessions have been wasted, in fact, on one issue or one controversy or another. This time around, do we see meeting grounds on some of these key legislations between the opposition and the government?
Doesn't appear so, Ruchika. As you were rightly pointing out, very short session, only till the 20th of December. Well, there is a lot of discussion going on at this point, whether it should be extended, because there are a lot of important legislations. Now, all the legislations, the major ones that are coming this time around, the Lokpal Bill, the SC/ST promotion in jobs bill, all these are very controversial, Ruchika. We have already seen the Samajwadi Party saying that they are not going to support the government either on the Women's Reservation Bill. We already know their stand on it. They have never let it pass. There have been chaotic scenes in Parliament every time it has come into either of the House. And they have also said that SC/ST promotion and jobs bill is something that they will not support. And today in the morning itself, Mayawati said that that bill should now go to Lok Sabha and should be cleared. So we are seeing clearly divided lines on that. Lokpal Bill is again a very contentious bill. We have seen it. We have seen the scenes in Rajya Sabha last time around when the government tried to bring in the bill and it could not be passed in time.
Right.
Now, all those scenes are likely to be replayed, Ruchika, if those contentious bills are brought in. And we must remember it's a very short duration that this winter session is going to be on.
Right, just stay on with me for a moment more. Maha, let's also listen into Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi of the BJP, who too has commented on the Communal Violence Bill soon after Narendra Modi called this bill a recipe for disaster.
और ऐसे हालात में जब कांग्रेस पार्टी के कुशासन के विदाई का बैंड बाजा बज रहा हो, कांग्रेस पार्टी इस तरह के बिल के माध्यम से, इस तरह के कम्युनल वायलेंस बिल नहीं है बल्कि वो कम्युनल वोट बिल है, और जब वोटों का टोटा पड़ चुका हो तो ऐसे टोने टोटके कांग्रेस पार्टी हमेशा करती रही है। इससे पहले भी अगर आपको याद होगा तो चुनाव जब आता है तो कभी अल्पसंख्यकों और मुस्लिम आरक्षण की बात करने लगती है, कभी नौकरियों की बात करने लगती है। इन 10 सालों तक वो कान में तेल डालकर सो रही थी, जिस वक्त की उन्हें समाज के सभी वर्गों को तरक्की के लिए काम करना चाहिए था, समाज के सभी वर्गों को प्रगति की मुख्य धारा में शामिल करने के लिए काम करना चाहिए था। उस समय तो वो भ्रष्टाचार और घोटालों में शामिल थे। उस समय वो महंगाई माफियाओं को और घोटालों के गुरु घंटालों को प्रगति की मुख्य धारा में शामिल करने में लगे हुए थे। और अब जो है वो जब उन्हें लग रहा है कि उनकी विदाई का बैंड बाजा बज रहा है तो ऐसे कानून और ऐसे बिल बनाने का शगुफा और टोना और टोटका कर रहे हैं। हम इसका ये कम्युनल वायलेंस बिल नहीं, कम्युनल वोट बिल है। इसको समाज को डिवाइड करने की कोशिश है। आज भी जो है वो लगभग 3 दर्जन ऐसे कानून हैं जिसके माध्यम से आप कम्युनल वायलेंस में शामिल लोगों से निपट सकते हैं, उनको डील कर सकते हैं।